Fellas, I want to get onto a subject now, which is relevant in light of what's happened to two clubs this week. Rangers have gone into debt massively. Portsmouth have gone completely, bust and with all sorts of ramifications. We're talking now about Everton versus Blackpool. I'm in a constant battle, on social network sites with fans who are anti-Bill Kenwright and who want a replacement of the board at Everton and want a new structure. I can't see how that could be done. I tweeted out to them last night, be careful what you wish for. Am I right to say that if you've got a club that is stable and in the middle of the Premier League, you should thank your lucky stars at the moment?
Yeah, and I would say that the reason that Bill Kenwright has not actually found that person is because they're not the right person, and then he's not gonna put all the years of hard work and he's got a responsibility to the whole of the Everton contingency to then give it to someone in 2 or 3 years' time. He's going to come in and play with it as a toy, and then get them into trouble, and then put their whole future
I totally
in
agree.
jeopardy.
Is it not true, Darren, that Liverpool were hours away from going bust themselves had they not got a second takeover deal from a new American consortium?
Absolutely. The stories are there for all to see, and I think as far as your tweet is concerned, the reason why I make you right is because I remember covering Charlton in my early years working for the Daily Mail, and lots of fans used to say, oh, we're not happy treading water in mid-table. We want someone who's going to take us... Yeah, that's right. We want someone to take us to the next level. Out goes Alan Kirbishley, the club fall like a stone. Sometimes, as you rightly put it, and I couldn't put it any better, be careful what you wish for. It's interesting, because we're in a week where loads of people saying Rangers and Portsmouth are going bust. They spent too much. Other people are saying Arsenal are not spending enough. Football is very much a game, sort of an industry where you have to hold your nerve, and you have to back your judgment. And I think somebody like Bill Kenwright, he hasn't sold to anyone else because, as Gordon was saying, he's not found the right people with the club at heart, the club's interests at heart. The problem with Portsmouth is that they were all too willing to listen to somebody who came along and said, I can give you this.
Fellas, I think I might have told you this story before. I actually live down on the coast. I live on Gosport, the opposite side to Portsmouth. But I've got a place that overlooks the whole of Portsmouth Harbour right out to the Isle of Wight. Every time I see a new yacht coming up there, because there's a like a yacht bay, and I see you're coming over, it's somebody else coming to buy Portsmouth. And it is always some guy who comes to Portsmouth. You never know what his credentials are. One guy turned up to buy Portsmouth. He was a Middle East chap and all that. He walked in, and on day one, before he'd done any, of the deal at all, he was literally grabbing programmes off fans and signing them and giving them back. And so this guy was a kind of, I now own a football club. That seems to be the mentality of people who go to Portsmouth.
And with everything that's gone on at Portsmouth, I must say that Michael Appleton, in his first job as a manager, has done absolutely brilliantly. He's stabilised the team. They've not been paid since Christmas. They've got Barnsley away tomorrow, and the players are still wanting to play for the badge, for the city, whatever. But I tell you, my hat goes off, and I hope he gets an opportunity to do a job without them pressures on him.
I agree with you, but the problem is, and the issue is, it's never been about the football club, or the manager or the players. It's been about the administration of the football club and the people who have run it. And we've talked on this show before about having sympathy for them, but you cannot have sympathy for a club who have got players who they should be selling to pay the bills, who are using those players to take points off other clubs.
If you've got buyers.
But you've also got to remember, in a town the size of Portsmouth, a very proud town with a naval tradition and a very fine town, a football club is a central part of the social and economic fabric of that town.
Even more so in Portsmouth.
Social and economic fabric. It employs people, it breaks people's hearts, it has a huge responsibility. It should not be treated like some sort of two-bob market stall that's up for rent for anybody who comes along.
No, I must agree.
Because they'll do it tomorrow. They'll play Barnsley. If they beat Barnsley tomorrow, they are players that they will be using who should have been sold in the window to pay the bills.
But they're not in control of the sale. And they were all up for sale, but no one came in and bought. And why not? Because their wages were too big.
Yeah, exactly. And when you see today what's happening in the High Court, what's going on in the High Court today is that Portsmouth were in a position like this. The gas bill was unpaid, the electricity bill was unpaid, they're going to cut off the electric and the gas. They've got a game at Barnsley tomorrow, as you say. They had no facility to even put fuel in the coach that was going to take the players to Barnsley. That's how strapped for money they are. Anybody who lets a club like Portsmouth, Jimmy Dickinson, the historical nature of that club, fall into that sort of state of disrepair, honestly, should be made answerable to the people of that
What
town.
is the administrator doing? Why is he not saying to to X or Y, Tel Banheim, Joel Ward, why is he not picking up players and saying, no, if we can't sell you, we tear up your contract and we'll let you go because the money that we're paying you is far too much?
I totally agree. I totally agree. Stay ahead of the game with Sports Tonight Live. Don't miss a thing. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Search for Sports Tonight Live on Facebook and like our fan page. Follow Sports Tonight TV on Twitter and tweet us your thoughts and opinions. Sports Tonight Live, it's the platform for the fans.